What does it mean to hear? To hear the sound of a salmon swimming up a mountain stream, to hear the beat of a drum, the voices of your family. Sound connects us to our loved ones, our community, our world. Many of us are born already able to hear the sounds that connect us to our place in the world. Some children are born not able to hear all of these sounds and are not able to hear them clearly. Some children are born unable to hear any of these sounds. This is a story for families with children who have hearing loss, to guide them on their journey to connecting with their world.
Hi Megan, my name's Erin. I'm the hearing screener that will be doing your son's hearing test today. Hello Nicholas. What I'll be doing is putting a soft little tip into each of his ears, playing some quiet clicking sounds. The computer measures his inner ear's response. It doesn't hurt and it usually just takes a few minutes. Is it okay if I go ahead and do the test?
Yes.
Okay.
Babies usually start to say their first words around 1 year of age, and by the time they are age 3, they are asking questions, telling little stories, and singing songs. But when a baby is born with a hearing loss, speech and language learning can be delayed. In the past, hearing loss often was not noticed during a child's early years. Today, using special tests, we are able to find out very early if a baby has a hearing loss. If your baby cannot hear, it is important to find out as soon as possible, because as family, you can learn ways to help your child communicate. Your baby's brain is developing very quickly, and your baby learns more in the first year of life than at any other time. There are certain skills like language that need to be learned by a certain age to prevent lifelong challenges. By getting early support for your child's hearing loss, you are providing the best start for your baby. For many children, their journey with the early hearing program will begin soon after birth, at the hospital, or at a public health clinic with a quick and simple hearing check called a screening. This is done by a healthcare professional in or near the community who is trained in screening the hearing of babies and young children. The screening is safe and won't hurt your baby. The screening is important for telling if your baby or child will need more detailed testing to find out how much they can hear.
Megan, I was unable to get a clear result with Nicholas's hearing today, so I would like to do another test before you leave the hospital. Usually we like to wait about 4 hours. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Here's a pamphlet you can look through that just gives some more information about the test that we'll be doing. I will be doing a little bit different test.
Does this mean our baby has hearing loss?
No, it doesn't mean he has hearing loss. What it does mean is that we need to do another check. I was just unable to get clear results right now, but it is important that we do another check.
Sometimes it will take more than one try to get all the information needed to finish the screening. There are many reasons for some infants or children to need further screening. In some cases, the reason for follow-up screening is because of fluid or debris may be naturally present in the ear from the child's journey into our world. Other times, there may be remaining questions about how much a child is able to hear. Sometimes rescreening is done before a baby leaves the hospital, but sometimes rescreening is done at a public health clinic. It is important to go to the rescreening appointments or to any recommended more in-depth testing.
Hi, Megan. Hello, my name's Erin. I'm the hearing screener. Hi. I'd like to do the test that we talked about for Nicholas now. Is that okay? Okay. And what I'll be doing this time, I have little sensors that I'll put on his forehead, cheek, and shoulder. The computer will again put a soft clicking sound into his ears and measure the response from his brain stem. For this test, it is important that we keep him as still as possible. Okay? Okay. If I could have Grandma, if you could please put him into the bed, and then I'll start setting up. Okay. I'm just going to attach the little sensors to Nicholas's cheek, back of his neck, and his forehead. These are the little ear cups that I'm putting over his ears that will put the soft clicking sound into his ears. Okay, I'm going to run the test now. I'll be testing one ear and then the next ear. So I'm going to start with his right ear. I was unable to get a clear response with this test today, so we would like to see Nicholas again when he's a month old so that we can do another more detailed test. It'll be at one of our infant diagnostic centers by an audiologist who's trained in hearing loss. Now I have a list of different centers. Is there one that would work better for you?
The Nanaimo Audiology Clinic. It's about a 2.5-hour trip from Penelakut Island, including the ferry. Can we bring all of our kids with us?
Sure. Is there someone that you can bring that can play with them during Nicholas's appointment?
Yes, maybe one of his aunties can come play with his brother and sister.
That would be great. The room where Nicholas will be having his next hearing test is very small and needs to be very quiet. So if Auntie could come to watch your other children, that would be great. The office will call you in the next few weeks to book an appointment. When they call, can you let them know that you will be bringing Nicholas's siblings and that Auntie will be coming to keep an eye on them?
Okay.
Okay.
If a baby does not pass the second stage of screening, it is much more likely that the baby has a hearing problem. About 1 in every 20 babies who do not pass the second screening has a hearing loss. It is important to take your baby to these follow-up appointments so that you can learn what your baby is able to hear or not hear. It is also important to make sure that your community health nurse or community health representative from your own community is aware of the screening results and appointments. They can help provide additional support. Ask the screener or hospital nurse to give you an extra copy of the brochures that you can share with your community health nurse or someone else in the community who can help you. Some babies pass the hearing screening but are at risk for developing a hearing loss later on in childhood. For example, some babies who were very ill at birth and were in a neonatal care unit may be higher risk for developing a hearing loss later. Other babies might be higher risk because there is a history of hearing loss in the family. Sometimes babies and young children can develop a hearing loss following an illness such as meningitis. If your baby is considered at risk for developing a hearing loss later, the audiologist will arrange for further testing with your baby at a later age. If your baby passes the hearing test and is not at risk for developing a hearing loss later, no additional test will be needed. But if at any time in the future you think your baby may not be hearing well, talk to your community health nurse or health representative and let them know you would like your baby to have another hearing test. After the screening, if there are still questions about a child's level of hearing, or if anyone has concerns about your child's hearing, they may be referred to an audiologist for more detailed hearing tests. An audiologist is a healthcare professional who specializes in hearing. The audiologist's role is to determine if a child has hearing loss, and if so, how much. Detailed hearing testing may take more than one visit to complete, or may take a longer visit. Sometimes it takes an hour, other times it may take up to 2 or 3 hours.
Hi, I'm Shannon. Thank you all for coming today. I understand that you had a bit of travel coming into here for the appointment. How was your travel?
Well, it was good. The ferry was a little late, not bad. My sister drove us in today. She was coming in to shop anyways. I hope you don't mind if she and the little ones are here with us.
Oh, absolutely not. Thank you for being here today to support your sister and the kids as well. The testing that we're going to be completing today just requires that it's very, very quiet and that your baby's asleep. So the sensors will have a harder time picking up the signal if baby's awake and moving around. So again, it's just really important that the testing environment is really quiet. So if you're comfortable with this, is that okay if Auntie takes the kids and finds a nice place to play?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, sure thing. They've been stuck in the truck all day anyway, so the playtime could be good.
Okay, great. Well, let's go find you a nice place to play over here while the testing is being completed.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
Yeah, come on over here. Hello. Hi. So Nicholas has had 2 hearing screening checks, and we still have some questions about his hearing. So what we're going to do today is just test his hearing while he's asleep. We're going to be placing these soft buds into his ears, much like earplugs, and playing some sounds and picking up his responses with these sensors. It's not uncommon to see these little ones more than once, so we may not be able to get all the information we need today. Well, the most important thing today is that Nicholas and you yourself are as comfortable as possible so that he can sleep through the test, okay?
That won't be a problem. He's a sleeper.
Great.
Will that hurt when those are turned on?
No, the test is completely painless and will not harm your baby in any way.
It is often surprising for a family to learn that their child has a hearing loss. Sometimes families find it difficult to believe the test results. Families may feel confused, worried, or a bit anxious or sad. Families often have questions about how they can help their baby and what kinds of supports and services are available to them. In some communities, families may find support from the community health nurse or the community health representative. If your baby is found to have a hearing loss, there will be a specialist in hearing loss and other parents who can help guide you on this new journey. Families often experience a variety of emotions when the audiologist tells them that their baby has a hearing loss. The family may find it difficult to take in or remember all the information they have been given. Within a few days after the hearing test, the family receives a call at home from a BC Early Hearing Program coordinator. The coordinators are early communication specialists who have many years of experience working with families with babies who have hearing loss. The coordinator helps answer parents' questions about hearing loss and early communication development, and they assist families in finding the services that will help them and their baby.
Hello?
Hi, my name is Margot Reed. I'm with the BC Early Hearing Program. Your audiologist, Dr. Fleming, asked me to give you a call. Is this a good time to call, or would you like me to call you back?
This is okay.
Well, let me tell you why I'm calling you. I talk with families soon after their baby has gone through hearing testing, and I help answer their questions. I give them information about what happens next and tell them about some services that might be helpful. I will be able to stay in touch with you and support you as you are taking these next steps. But first, I wanted to ask you, how are you doing?
We're doing okay. It just took us a little while to get used to our baby having hearing loss. We're not really sure what to do now.
Well, that's helpful for me to know. I'll be able to go over what usually happens next. Before I start giving you some of that information, do you have any concerns or questions about what's happened so far?
I was just wondering what the specialist meant when she said,
Throughout their journey, it is not uncommon for the family to be overwhelmed with new information and choices. This can be especially true in the earliest steps. The early communication coordinator can arrange for a parent to talk with a parent guide. Parent guides have children with a hearing loss. Families often find it helpful to talk with other parents who have been through something similar. The early communication coordinators can also introduce families to other additional support services, such as the Aboriginal Infant Development Program. Children with hearing loss are at a risk for having difficulty learning language. Children with typical hearing learn language by listening to others around them talk. It is important to find ways that a child with hearing loss can also have the same chance to learn language. Hearing aids may be a good choice for some children and their families. Some families may prefer to have their child learn sign language or combine some use of sign language with other methods that allow use of spoken communication as well. It is important to know that your child's hearing team will work with you and your family to help you make choices for your child. Your family's journey with hearing will change and develop as time goes by, and the choices you make for your child may also change.
Hi, my name's Shannon, and I'm the audiologist here. Nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
And I'm Lorraine.
Nice to meet
Kyle's
you.
grandma.
Nice to meet you, Lorraine.
And there's Kyle.
And this is Kyle. Hello, Kyle. Hi. Kyle has a hearing loss in both ears. When we met a few weeks ago, we talked a little bit more about possibly the use of hearing aids. What were your thoughts on this?
Yes, we talked about a lot of different things, but we wondered, will his hearing loss go away when he gets older?
With what we know about Kyle's hearing loss, it looks as though it's a permanent loss. It won't improve or get better with time.
Okay.
I feel that Kyle could benefit from the use of hearing aids. What we can do today is just talk a little bit about what it might be like for him to use hearing aids and how they might help him. What I can do is show you the hearing aids, how they look, feel, and work. And once you feel that you have a better understanding of how it might be for him to use hearing aids, we can talk about whether or not you think this would be a good decision for both Kyle and your family.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm going to be seeing you several times over the next few months. I realize that you've driven a long way to be with us here today, so we want to make sure that your next appointment times are at a really good time that work well for both you and your family. It's really important for us to monitor his hearing and very closely just to make sure there's no changes. This will also provide you with the opportunity to come back and ask me any questions that you might have. I'm just going to be showing you both a brochure here. It has some information about hearing loss and such. There's a few resources, different resources that you can use, and particularly in the back page here, there's contact information here too as well for some contacts that you might need. You can contact me or this clinic as well. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. Come on in. I'm Megan. This is Nicholas.
Hi Megan, I'm Jackie and I'm the Aboriginal Infant Development Program, and this is Deanne and she's the speech and language therapist.
I'm so glad to meet you. What a beautiful baby.
Thanks everyone for having us here. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
I invited our elder to be with us today. Our community is important to our baby.
Not only are elders important to communities, but the children are important because they're the ones that are going to be taking our places in years to come. We have certain ways that we have to handle the child so that he is able to pick up our teachings, and the word for our teachings in our language is snawayat. And when we hold the child close, the child feels your heartbeat, just like a drum. And he knows that you're there, and he knows that you love him. As long as he's being held close to you, we know that he's going to grow up with a loving group of people in his life.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. So I understand that little Nicholas has recently, you found out he has a hearing loss.
Yeah, we were a bit surprised. We thought he could hear us.
I'm still getting used to it.
And every family experiences hearing loss in a little different way. And it's really common that families may feel surprised when they first find out about a hearing loss. It can take a bit of time as well, as families start to think about what is this hearing loss going to mean for my baby and our family. So how are things going for you now?
It's still hard sometimes, but we want to learn everything that we can do for him.
I can imagine. And the way Dad's even holding baby right now is a really wonderful position for baby to be able to see what's happening with your face and hear you better. So many of the things you're already doing are really supporting his development of communication skills. One very important thing is that children naturally want to communicate with those around them, which makes it much easier for us to build on and to set up the kinds of things that are going to help to encourage Nicholas's communication development. It's a lot easier than I think it sounds at first because we do this naturally. It can be a lot of fun as well. Can you tell me a little bit about the kinds of activities that you normally do with Nicholas at home or out in the community?
So we go for walks quite a bit and visit grandparents, aunts and uncles.
So we can talk a little bit more and work together and involve whoever you'd like to have involved and talk to Jackie a little bit more about how to make sure that we use those to build Nicholas's communication development. What do you think of that plan?
Well, that sounds good.
Good.
Throughout a family's journey with hearing loss, many people can contribute support and guidance, working together as a team along with hearing health providers and the family. Hearing and early communication team members are there to help assist the family however they can.
As an audiologist, I'm proud to be working in your communities.
A positive working relationship is very important to me.
We can do this together.
If you suspect hearing loss in your child, go see your doctor.
The earlier, the better.